yesterday. It's time to throw our money back away today. But not only that, there's a modern prelim going on that I'm playing mono red prowess in, so we may or may not get some bonus rounds of prowess, depends on how quickly we lose of Neoform. Or I guess how quickly we win with it. Kappa. So what have we got here? Turn one kill. I like those. We're obviously always going to go for it. So we should technically use this first, right? Might grab us another Simian Spirit Guide or something. Okay, well. And the beautiful part here is we didn't have to waste a pact or anything, so we don't technically have to try to kill our opponent if we don't want to. I'm a pretty big fan of just going for it, because I find just going for it a lot funner. It's probably safer not to just go for it. We don't technically have a Nourishing Show in our hand, so I guess I'm just going to pass. If I had a Nourishing Show in our hand, I'd 100% go. And there'll be a chance that I regret this regardless, but in fairness, there's not a lot of decks that that beat that. So and did we get a Nourishing Show? We did get a Nourishing Show, so there's just no reason that we're not going to go for it now. Hey Trickery, what is up? So we'll discard that one. So we'll go ahead and cast this to get to thin our deck a little bit. Hey, having to scroll back and forth here. I do not see a second show, so boom, we draw again. There is another show. Our cards back here. So we just have enough activations to win now. We don't even have to. We don't have to try to do anything fancy. We can. And then just any card that lets us draw, but this also works. About to listen to me and drive home? Well, you had a pretty interesting match there. We had a potential turn one, but we didn't bother to force it because generally it never feels like you need to force it. Kind of want to sideboard out a Grizzlebrand. Probably bringing in a few too many cards here, but I feel like this match goes just a smidge longer than normal. So we summon Overgrown Tomb, we can assume Jund or a bunch of other random things. Long story short, we can assume there to be discard spells, so I brought in both the ley lines and the other things. You know, This hand's not good. I'm going to keep it anyway, just for the meme. We have a potential turn 1 if they don't have a discard spell. They're obviously going to have a discard spell. Even if they use a discard spell, we have 7 chances to draw a win. And then we get 2 draw steps at it. Once upon a time could just mean they're the Yawgmoth combo, though. If they're the Yawgmoth combo, we just win. Not the Yawgmoth combo. Or maybe the Yawgmoth combo has duresses in the sideboard. Wouldn't imagine so. And we do have a show this time, so I'm probably just going to go ahead and go for it. Do we have another show? We currently do not. Go ahead and exile these as we find them. That's not a show. Still see both of our nourishing shows over there. We're getting to pretty much free willy draw these cards right now. Solve this. And just draw 14. And in case they had some kind of wild slaughter pact, which obviously doesn't save them. We technically have a Veil of Summer up even. Alright, well, 2 turn 1 kills, though technically game 1 was a turn 2 kill because we chose not to go for it. Though there was a fairly high likelihood that we could have went for it. Just didn't feel important. So, running pretty hot today. Already running hot. Gotta get Facebook going and get my pals hyped up. Yeah. 10 minutes into the stream and we've already played around. So what do we got here? It's turn 2. Alright, we'll keep a potential turn 2. Verdant Catacomb. So we'll have to see. Alright, so they're playing, it looks like Death Shadow, which is one of our worst matches. They have a million discard spells, they have counter spells, they have a quick clock. There's just not a lot we can do versus it. As I was saying yesterday, you don't play the decks like Prowess and Neoform to beat these decks. You play them to beat the ramp decks, which is the best decks in the format right now. So I would assume that I'd be getting paired versus them some. I'm not. I don't think that second bobble was correct, but tapped out. They're not going to be casting any pact negations or anything. There's no reason not to take my draw step and look at my next card. Alright, well, let's see if we can get a little lucky. Looking for another Neoform here. That's not a Neoform, but it does let us look again. We just don't want that card at all. So we pass. And we're now probably dead. Could have slammed this, but still in lightning bolt range. That doesn't feel worthwhile. It didn't attack. I don't think it gets much better for us than this, so should go ahead and play our Allosaurus Rider and our Eldritch Evolution. I would have waited had I not drawn the Pact of Negation to go with it. Since I drew the Pact of Negation, we're just going to go for it and hope. I do not feel we're super likely to get it with one Nourishing Show already gone. Oh, well, never mind. Our opponent, I'm pretty sure that our opponent's a favorite to win here, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We would have used this, so there's no telling what our next 7 cards would have been. Yeah, if they'd have, I don't think that was a good concession, but pretty sure our opponent was the favorite there. Again, we're going to bring in all of this anti-discard stuff. Even though Pact of Negation was lit that game, overall I think it's pretty bad. In any one of these games where I'm trying to play a slightly longer game, I usually cut out one of those spells because I feel like there's a good chance I'm going to draw multiple. Because the odds of me trying to win on turn 1 or 2 isn't very likely. I think it's turn 3 and 4 most often here. So we have our most important card. And we have a theoretical land. We'd have to draw a land. And we'd have to hit a thing. I think we're just going to go ahead and mulligan. We have to mulligan the double Grizzlebrand. That's not an option. This hand's not good, but I do think it's better than going to 4. We'll keep our lands. Kind of just want to go ahead and get rid of the Chancellor because the odds of us winning on turn 1 seem next to none. We have to draw. We would have to fade, discard spell, and draw Simian Spirit Guide. That just doesn't feel like something that's going to happen. And then after turn 1, that's just a generic green spell. This is the Inquisition, so we can play this. So we're obviously in super bad shape here. We drew arguably the second best possible. I think Veil of Summer would have been best. If we draw green card, we can quote-unquote try. This green card 1. They play Liliana, we just pick our cards up. Well, do we get to try at least? That'll be a green card. It is in fact a green card. The way they shocked, I expect Stubborn to now. I'm just gonna run it back. Bring in 7 cards. It'd be nice to have one. I believe that's a keep. That's not helpful, so we'll pass again. It's fine. Some extra cards here. I'm 100% sure I'm concerned about that card. So I could play that for 3. They definitely have some kind of counter spell. Alright, well, we just go for it now, right? Because we're basically going to lose anyway. We don't have enough mana to play Veil Summer with all of that. Alright, so like I said, one of our worst matches. Got basically an instant queue. Show us generic ramp deck, please. What do we got here? 8 draws, no redraws. I'm gonna give one away. It's the same hand as it was before. Alright, fine, I'll keep it. It's wasting a lot of our time, and that's fine. Hey, Chaz. It's a fun deck. We've already got a turn 2 kill, a turn 1 kill, and a big hard loss. I think we did win one game in our loss. Looks like this game's not looking great either. Until our other match starts, still 4 outstanding matches. This opponent's playing way too slow and it's already aggravating me. Not going to attack because of Ice Fang. Also, the 1 point of damage just isn't relevant at any point. Yeah, it's got like a 9% turn 1 kill rate or something, but that's assuming opponents don't have interaction, which I think this format's pretty light on interaction, though every match I've got paired versus in the past 2 days has been a pure interaction deck. Like, I thought this format was supposed to be mostly like prowess decks and ramp decks. That's just not what I'm getting paired versus. Also, made a mistake that turn. I was supposed to probably do something differently there, but it's fine. Like, we have 1 Pact of Negation in our deck. It can't ever beat Spell Queller, so theory, if we draw a Pact of Negation plus our combo piece, we could beat like a Force of Negation, but like we're clearly gonna not likely to win game 1. Scape Shift is what I messed up again too. I'm talking and not sacking my waterlogged groves. That's 2 turns in a row, I think, that I've not did that. Just not paying attention. Hey, this is what I just beat last round, I think. No, they had blue in their version. Sorry, last round of the other event. I'll try not to make the mistake for the 3rd turn in a row. This is a pretty bad match for us. They have counter spells and they have Path Exiles, so. Who knows what tools they have post board. Hopefully it's just rest in peace. This is possibly a bad keep too. By the way, hello, Big Monkey. I got too happy about the basically 2 turn 1 kills, and things have gotten bad since then, but that's what happens when you play a meme deck. You live and or die by the meme. How long do we have now? Down to 3? 48 players. That's a lot for a prelim. I'm pretty out of the loop too. I've not played since I don't know when I played again actively. Or last actively, rather. Yeah. Consider that a good hand. Make sure I clicked the right one. Hi. Well, we have to go for it because we used the Summoner's Pact. There's an argument that we shouldn't have bothered, but... Don't have anything we can play. Did we get a Nourishing Show? We did get a Nourishing Show, so... We're not dead. That's good to know. We're certainly running out of chances, though, aren't we? I don't think we've hit even a Metamorphose, have we? Other than the one we discarded. So, need you to be there. Vel's not helpful. Life Goes On's not helpful. Okay. We hit this thing. That's helpful. That should get us everything. We'll just draw two. Oh, I messed up. I punted. I lost. Oh, tilt. I punted. I just clicked the button too quick. That was a guaranteed win. I messed up. Wow. All right. Well. I saw that we drew the Lab Maniac, and I got excited and just drew the other 7 cards. When we drew the Lab Maniac, I was supposed to Metamorphose, get blue mana, then play the Lab Maniac. I just got excited and clicked the button like an idiot. No. Force Negation basically has killed this deck. The problem is most of the Force Negation decks are really bad because they don't beat the Prowess deck and they don't beat the Ramp deck. Like they're not super good versus Titan. They're not super good versus the Field of the Dead decks. And they're just horrendous versus Prowess. But yeah. So I threw away a 3-win. Well, a 3-game 2. Still, obviously not a favorite to win that match. I guess this hand's good enough to keep. Hit a land. We certainly don't want that. Probably don't want that. But that was just going too fast while talking. That wasn't the deck's fault. And as you see, another interactive deck, which means we probably lose. It doesn't really get better for us though, so... There's no Vel Summers or anything in this main deck. So if they just have it, you lose. Again, we're playing this deck to get paired versus the red decks and the ramp decks, but you just don't get paired versus them in leagues. Archive Trap. Okay. That's interesting. I wasn't going to go for the kill 100%. Now I kind of want to go for the kill. Just based on if they untap and like glimpse us, they've got a 33% chance to hit our only kill condition, though there's a good chance we can just attack them out. Probably don't live 3 turns, do we? Huh. It's kind of a hard call. What are the odds we live 3 turns? They have ensnaring bridges and stuff in their deck too. Murph is typing something. I still don't know what those cards do. He did really bad on his stream too. I checked in his stream. I was going to figure out what I was going to see what that deck was about, and he was like 2 and 3 or something, and didn't particularly like it. So we won't make our mistake this game. Though we do have to draw our last Simian Spirit Guide. Does this only get a green creature? Yeah, this only gets a green creature. I can't see that. It's on the other screen that's little. So, where's our thing at? There it is. Okay. Well, again, this is not a particularly good match, but... So you're going to have to explain that that deck to me, Murph, when I'm not in a match. Because to be 100% honest, I don't exactly know what it does still. Does it say your name? I don't see your name. Where does it say your name at? Oh, yeah, it says it up here. So what do we got here? Not good enough. So the Veil Summer's interesting. Certainly not good enough. Certainly not good enough. And I guess we keep this one. So we'll put you on the bottom. You on the bottom and you on the bottom. Just try to get lucky. a Twitch streamer now. So they have surgical extractions and stuff under deck? Counter spells, things of that nature. And we're dead. We literally can't beat that card, so we move on to the next game. It's got to be a little bit quicker. Yeah, this hand qualifies as a little bit quicker. Opponent's at 5. Got our rounds not started yet. Opponent's at 4. Well, swing and a miss. We've already had one turn 1. We possibly could have had 2 turn 1s, but I chose not to kill on turn 1 game. I knew they couldn't, or I knew they wasn't likely to kill my Grizzlebrand, so I didn't bother. I think we're supposed to keep with the Once Upon a Time, but maybe we're not. Good chance this is our last time. They mulliganed a bunch. They probably mulliganed to Ashiok. Didn't get there. By the way, we technically can beat Ashiok. We just play a bunch of Allosaurus Riders, but I'm not about that life. I don't really want to put this in my graveyard right now. So this is kind of weird. First card in my hand's probably Chancellor to Tanglevin. Eldritch Evolution now. And I don't want to put any of our important pieces in our graveyard because of surgical extraction and the like. Well, we're drawing to 1 of 8 cards. I mean, obviously they could have something like Drown into Lock or something, and maybe those 8 cards aren't good enough, but Seems like they were getting ready to play an Archive Trap main phase. So even if I hit this turn, I might not go for it. Womp womp. Kind of needed that card, but again, every card in our hand is just more important. Could have exiled the Simian Spirit Guide for mana, I guess, but... They're not really casting spells, so I just assume they have a Drown to lock right now, and that there's just no chance we're going to win this match. And our other matches started. It's a keep. Can't do anything about it. They hit a rider, so this game's probably over considering they have 2 cards in their hand. It lit up like it was my play, but it's not my play. Opponent's taking too long to think. We have to be dead. Is this going to be an extirpate? Come on, opponent. And that's game. Oh well. Pretty confident that was a reasonable keep. Potentially. Land, please? Or are we going to run bad in this match, too? Looking for another land, so I went ahead and did that. Could be Amulet, could be Titan. It's probably Titan. Titan's a little more common right now. Yeah, this is the prelim. I assume most of the opponents in the prelims are pretty good. They need a good draw, though. Because we have a thunderous amount of damage next turn. So if they didn't have like a land anger, we probably win. I can't think of other things that let them get another turn. Obstinate Bailoff maybe would have. That does, actually. That does, I believe, right? So, they're at 16. We're dealing 1, 2, 7, 12, 16 total? No, we're not doing 16 because of the block, right? So we're going to deal 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's right. Never mind. I was right the first time. We're going to block 4, take 9. I was curious how my math changed from the first time I counted it to the second time I counted it. I just thought that was weird. Oh, super sideboard in this match. I should have a dismember. My sideboard's messed up. I'm not supposed to have 4 Dragon Claws in it. I have no idea how I even made that mistake. When I had to load the wrong version of the deck or something. Because when I built the deck, there was only 12 sideboard slots, and it had no Dragon's Claws, and I added 3 Dragon's Claws, and all of a sudden there's a 4th one. But that 4th one's supposed to be a dismember. And dismember would come in this match. Other than that, I think Braids are okay, but they're not particularly good. Like, killing something early is okay, but a dismember would come in here if I had it. I do not have it. I don't know why this mountain's in my deck either. I don't know how this mountain's on my account. Oh, I know how this mountain's on my account now. I have 4 of that set on my account. Oh, that's a tilt. What the hell? Why did it randomly change the mountains in my account? I don't think Moon's worth it. I feel like they're fast enough that Moon doesn't really matter. Like, I'm not worried about dying to a Valakut. I'm worried about them slamming a couple Obstinate Bailoffs and a couple of Titans. If Valakut kills me, Valakut kills me. But if Valakut kills me, things have to be going insanely wrong anyway, I believe. Because, like, say they kill this Swift Spear or something, or put down a couple of blockers, like, then it's not going to matter if I stop myself from dying to this. The games, like, generally aren't close. Is that a good word or a good way for me to phrase what I'm trying to say? There's no reason for him to block if he's going to sack. It's just wasting both of our time. Because he still takes the 2. If we'd got that on turn 1 and this on the light up the stage, we'd probably win this turn. we did not draw them in the right order, and that's fine. I'm not going to cast a Lava Spike here, even though there's a chance I need the mana, but not casting the Lava Spike lets the Lightning Bolt and the Lava Dart without sacking a mountain survive their thingy. Survive like another Anger or a Lightning Bolt. So this is probably the Bailoff, which is good news for us actually, because it cuts them off of their next turn, and if we draw something like a Bedlam Reveler, we're pretty excited about that. Now the question we have to decide is whether we're going to forego this 2 points of damage or not. I don't think so. I think since we're basically going to get another untapped step, that there's no reason not to just wait. Damn near just killed my own Soulscar Mage. That would have sucked. That would have definitely sucked. Still quite a ways away from being able to kill them. But we can kill a blocker with the other end of the Lava Dart, so... Yeah. Yeah, it was, Murph. Drawing a few too many lands here. That's, kind of what the doctor ordered. And hopefully we don't get fogged. Alright, so we got paired versus 2 Amulet deck, or sorry, 2 Valakut decks, and we're 2-0 in the prelim. And let's go back to losing our Neobrand tournament. We beat... I don't remember what we beat round 1. Oh, that's right. The only card they played in 2 games was 1 Overgrown Tomb. My bad. Or they played 2 Overgrown Tombs, actually, I think. I don't remember. 1 or 2 Overgrown Tombs. Wait, where did our event go? Why did our event leave? No, I don't want to play a match. I want to talk about matches. So we beat something that has Overgrown Tombs in it. Then we lost a 4-color Shadow. Then we had a game 1 and was talking in chat and just clicked the wrong button and lost to Cocoa Spirits, it looked like. And then we got crushed by Blue-Black Mill. Was trying to play around too many things with the Blue-Black Mill deck. Like, there was a chance that I'm supposed to discard a different card 1 turn and try to Once Upon a Time, but like, I was afraid of Surgical Extraction and Extirpate, and I didn't have 3 mana. But who knows? So what are the best decks in Modern? I've been away from Modern for some time. I've been away from Magic for some time, so I don't actively know. But from me parsing the lists, like looking at the challenge list, looking at the preliminary list, looking to the chatter on Twitter, it feels to me like Amulet is the best deck, with like the filled Valakut decks being pretty good, but like just some kind of ramp deck with Primeval Titan. I'm not actually sure which one's best. It might be the Euro decks, it might be It might be just normal Titan. It might be the ones that lean on the field more. I really don't know, but it feels like one of those Primeval Titan decks is the best deck in the format. And it feels to me like the best way to beat the Primeval Titan decks is just like Mono Red Prowess, which is the reason I've been playing it so much lately. I think the Prowess deck's very good versus it, while having a reasonable game versus the Blue-White Stoneblade decks and the Bant Stoneblade decks. Obviously, the Prowess deck gets crushed by Jund, and it's not really good versus 4-color Shadow, though I think it's reasonable versus Grixis Shadow. Like, I don't think you're favored, but I don't think you're that much of a dog. I've saw Ely Cassis, which is a player I admire greatly, talking about how Urza's still good. I've not got to tune in and watch any of his streams yet, or I've not read his article on Face-to-Face Games. Shout out to Ely, who made the Rivals League, which is pretty awesome. But he still likes Urza, and that dude's obscenely intelligent. So, alright, Murph, you can tell us how the combo works, and then we'll play our last Neoform match. Guess I should pop the deck up while we're here. But yeah, I've been out of Magic for a while, so my play is going to be rusty. And by a while, I mean like 2-3 months since I've really paid attention to it. But yeah, so I'm not going to be up to date on all of the meta games, and my play is going to be fairly rusty as well. Hopefully it won't take... I was never a great player, but hopefully it won't take a long time to get back to at least where I was. Which I would consider an average online grinder. Like, certainly not as good as somebody like Yama or Matthew Folks or Dave C. And clearly not as good as the bangers like Batuinkfa, I probably pronounced his name wrong, or like Bassist, or Lars Dam, or Sandy Dog, or, I mean, the list go on and on, but I was never on either of their, or on any level of anyone I just mentioned. I'm somewhere below that, and I'm probably less than average right now. I do miss Blue-White Approach, too, and I did notice that a player, or somebody I follow on Twitter, that I consider a very good player, I noticed that in the showcase, Pioneer Showcase, where's it at? I noticed in the Pioneer Showcase, anyway, they made top 4, and they shoved an Approach into Blue-White deck, which got me kind of giddy. If I was playing Pioneer today, this is what I would have streamed just because I had an Approach in it. Yeah, I saw that Sandy Dog streams now. He's been playing a lot of red deck wins, and he's been top 10 on the ladder about every time I watched him. Like, the dude is so good. But yeah, this made me super excited to see an Approach of the Second Sons. Imagine how good Approach of the Second Sons would have been if we had a little Teferi. It's pretty good when we had big Teferi, but imagine how good it is if we had a little Teferi. I don't even know what this card is. I'm not going to read it right now. So I'm going to let Murph tell me what this combo deck is that he's been talking about. And then after he tells me about the combo deck, we'll go on to our next match. So this combo, the Inverter of Truth Foss's Oracle, which I don't truly understand how it's a turn Splinter Twin. Like, I understand that the Inverter of Truth into the Foss's Oracle is a win or something. I don't really understand how it works. Would have been S space T-E-I-T. Steet? I don't get it. Oh, yeah, end of turn approach would have been lit. But yeah. So explain to me, Murph. You've been wanting to tell me for days and I've been ignoring it. This card says when it enters the battlefield, exile all cards from your library face down, then shuffle your graveyard into your library. How does it exile your deck? Like, shouldn't there be cards in your graveyard? Shouldn't you still have some cards? I don't get it. I think what's confusing me isn't that I don't understand how Truth and Oracle work together. It's that people keep calling it Splinter Twin, and I don't understand how it ever wins on turn 4. So I think people calling it Splinter Twin is what confuses me. You don't always get to control how big your graveyard is. Okay, so it can't win on turn 4. Okay, because that's what was confusing me the most. Because you have to cast Inverter first and then Fossa second, right? Or am I not understanding how that works? Because that's what I was confused about. Like, I didn't understand how this deck could ever win on turn 4. It felt to me like your best draws was Slam Inverter and then, like, next turn play Fossa. Okay, so I'm not actually confused about it. I was confused about it being called Splinter Twin. Okay. Yeah, Jace on board plus cast Inventor. That's if no cards are in your graveyard, though, right? If you have a card in your grave, or if you have cards in your graveyard, that doesn't work, does it? Maybe I need to read Jace again. I have one of those alternate art Jaces I picked up in a trade for S and G's. Definitely need to get this match over with because there's people that's supposed to be at my house at around 7:30. So I don't know if we'll get to play any more of the Modern on stream. I shouldn't have signed up for the Modern, to be honest. Could I have 2 cards of Jace? I guess I'm going to have to look up Jace again then. Jace, Builder of something. Mysteries, is that right? What's it do? No, it draws a card. Oh, just put 2 cards in the graveyard, then draw a card. Okay. So if you have 2 cards, they just dump to your graveyard, you draw a card, and because of the passive on it, if you would draw a card while your library is empty, you win. Gotcha. It's got the half the mulligan. Half the mulligan again. So we have to keep 3 of these. I'm probably just going to concede this game, so. We'll see what they're playing, and then we'll concede. Yeah, so they're playing Infect. Infect's a deck that's actually faster than us. That's kind of interesting. Oh, the people that are supposed to be here at 7:30 are already here. Yeah. Well, we waited a long time and we don't even get to play, maybe? Guess we need all 3 of our lands. We gotta get rid of 2 cards, so. We'll try that deck someday, Murph. I do like playing Dig Through Time. We need to draw 2 green cards and pray. Because we could just die this turn. That's not a green card. I believe we are now dead. Like, they might not kill us this turn, but I don't think we get 2 more untaps, and we cannot win next turn no matter what. I guess getting 2 more untaps would be pretty ambitious. I am not playing Neobrand in the prelim. I'm playing my baby mono red prowess. Alright, well, if we don't die next turn, then we probably win. Assuming they don't have a spell pierce, but they might not go for it too. They might wait. It's feeling like they have a spell pierce though. Neat. Well, we don't have to worry about spell pierce. Just have to find a green card. That's what we call a green card. That's what we call a better green card. So we can do this to go ahead and so we don't lose them in a minute. Need to go ahead and discard this card while we can before we lose it. They could go ahead and concede here. After we hit the second one, the odds of us failing are next to none. I still don't think there's anything worth us bringing in. A lot of, I guess a lot of these decks play like Grafdigger's Cage. So maybe we're supposed to bring in a couple of those for Grafdigger's Cage, but for the most part, we're both just gold fishing. They have a few more interactive spells than we do. So this is a land for a turn 1 kill, and I like to gamble, so we keep. The problem is if we don't hit a land, which is 1 in 13, aka not very high, like, then we have to hit 2 lands. So we don't hit, we basically don't win. It's definitely probably wrong to keep, but we're already 1 in 3 at this league, so we're at this point just kind of trolling. It's definitely wrong to keep. 100% wrong to keep. Not claiming it's correct to keep. We're just doing this to have fun. And now we've lost the game. If Summoner's Pact could get any creature instead of just a green creature, that'd be very easy. It'd be a very easy keep at that point. Yeah, I only play this deck to have fun, which is why we're playing this deck in the league, and we're playing Prowess in the tournament that matters. Like, this is just when we're trolling around. We had a good day yesterday, so we're spewing today. I just want to attack. But I won't. Guess there's a chance I block. That card's not going to make me block. Ah, well. So they have some kind of interactive spell since they didn't Pendlehaven first. So there's almost no way we get another turn. That's enough to kill me. GG. Oh, well, like I said, just trolling around a little bit. Definitely had a chance to win this match. We had game 2 won. I just misclicked talking to chat. Well, I didn't misclick. I brain farted. I saw that I drew the Laboratory Maniac, and I was like, oh, I just went. And then I drew 7 more cards like an idiot instead of casting the Lab Maniac first. But for the most part, not a very good tournament for us. Some Overgrown Tomb deck round 1. Bad match for us. Some 4-color Shadow deck. Bad match for us. Spirits Coco. Or just Coco in general. It's probably just Coco in general. They have enough interaction and a quick enough clock that I don't consider that a very good match for us. Infect, I think, is a deck that's, again, not a super good match for us. And I forget what we played this round, but that's right, I forget what happened 25 seconds ago. Oh. Another, just mono black, kill your graveyard. Or not mono black, blue black, screw your graveyard. Where did that go? Where did that go? Here's the deck. The deck's still fine for what it is. What it is isn't very good. Well, like I said, got paired versus 0 ramp decks, got paired versus 0 decks with mountains in them. Those are what you want to get paired versus when you play this deck. Instead, we got paired versus three, uh, you know, discardy type decks, and then spirits and infect, which is just as fast as us. But anyway, I'm gonna hop offline. Thanks everybody for watching. Take care, everyone.